What we got going on today?
Well, we're getting back on the RUSTANG.
The RUSTANG.
Yeah. This car's been sitting for 5 years. Is that about how long it's been here?
I don't know. It's been so long.
I don't even know. It could have been here 7 years.
I can't even keep up.
So I talked to the owner, and we're going to go over what we're going to do and what we've already done. We're going to catch everybody up, but what I'm trying to do now is I got to get this arm in here. What I'm doing is, this is the original suspension we're looking at. This is the factory disc brake suspension from the factory, and I took it out because I had to replace this whole front section all the way from the firewall, which is right here, the windshield post, up. Everything's been replaced except this box right here. Come on over here. We replaced this whole floor. One-piece floor. That's a brand new floor, and I know people are looking and saying that doesn't look brand new. That's because it's been sitting. Been sitting a long time. We had to get this stuff at the swap meet. The hood that we're using on this is this aftermarket hood. I don't even know it's over there. I've been holding on to that aftermarket hood for 7 years or 8 years. And the latch system that we purchased, the aftermarket latch system, would not work. Remember that? Yeah. So we had to go to the big paint swap meet, and I'm going to use this Mustang as an example. I think to get a factory hood latch just like this one, I think we ended up paying $175 for it, and the reason for that is because the guy had the hood he was selling. It was a fiberglass hood, and he said, "I'm not taking the hood latch off. If you want the latch, pay the full price." I went ahead and paid the full price for the hood latch, and it's on this hood right here. Come on over here. That's the $175 hood latch. It's an OEM factory hood latch. It's not aftermarket, because the aftermarket one wouldn't work. It was a piece of shit. So I ended up buying this latch, and then I told the guy, "Do you have a wrench?" I got a crescent wrench. Take the latch off, keep your piece of shit fiberglass hood. This A-pillar got T-boned at one time. Now the owner bought this car, and I don't think he knew that this car was wrecked as bad as it was in this area.
Probably not. Because
they had this all jerry-rigged up. The door would latch on here, and I mean, it just looked like total monster mash. The owner supplied a window post right here. He supplied this. I guess he got it at the junkyard or something. And then I had to buy, no, matter of fact, he supplied this all the way up to about here. All right, this A-pillar. That was a factory A-pillar out of a Mustang. This was brand new. This was all crushed in right here. You can go back in the videos, and what I'm doing, I'm kind of recapping what we did. If we look right here, look at this. See that mark? There's a measuring mark. That's a measuring device. This section right here, or should I say, this point right here should be right here. Now this is an aftermarket rocker panel. I didn't replace the whole rocker panel. Before I put this rocker panel on, I precisely measured everything. Now you might look at that and saying, "Well, you didn't measure it that good." Yeah, I did measure it that good. The problem that we have that I didn't notice is this beveled angle edge right here. See that? Is a totally different angle than the factory one on the right side. So when you hang the fender on it, of course the fender hangs way over here. It doesn't line up with that, so I got to fix that. This is basically where I stopped 5 or 6 years ago. This is it, what you're looking at. The owner has finally agreed that we're going to finish this, and if we don't finish it, we are under agreement, the car has to go. No more bullshitting around, no more excuses. I've talked to the owner a lot. We put his car on hold when we got here to Moab because we got other cars to do. You can see him in the background over here. All right, but we are now ready to get back on his car, and we're going to finish it. Now, when you work on a car like this, and you do this work, and then you stop, you kind of get lost where you stopped.
Especially when it's been years.
When it's been years. And you tell yourself, I got all these parts over here. Look at all this shit we got. Half the stuff, I don't even know where it goes. I don't even know if I need to use those parts. Have I already replaced those parts? That's what you're talking about. So if we look right here, we got a 1968 Mustang. This is a convertible, this is a fastback, same exact car. What I can do while this car is here is I can go ahead and look what we got. We got suspension parts inside here that are missing. All right?
Brackets.
Brackets and stuff that welds onto the front end. And if you look in here, you can see how this one's all complete and everything is here. I have to install these on that other car over there on the RUSTANG. So while this car is here, I can measure all this and find out where all this goes so I can get it done. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. So it's kind of a blessing that we have
Kind
this
of, yeah.
Mustang here to reference.
Right. The way that I found out that that was all screwed up, because I thought that the fender was, I didn't know what was going on. I did all my point-to-point A and B measurements on this car, and I found out that this line right here is totally wrong compared to that line over there. So I got to cut, splice, and dice to get this to work. Another thing is, look right here. And I don't even know if you can see it. See that beveled edge right here?
Oh, there's an indentation.
There's an indentation and a beveled edge right in here.
That's not over there.
And if we look at the right-hand side of this car, look what we got. We got an indented, beveled edge. You see that right there? But if we come over here, we ain't got nothing. It's a flat, solid flat surface. There's nothing there.
And that's because it's aftermarket?
That's because it's an aftermarket piece, but this is the deal. When you buy these aftermarket parts, there's always going to be one particular section that's going to be totally different than the rest of.
Which allows them to make the part and not be copyright infringed and
that's
trademark
right.
infringed and all that kind of crap.
So by making this mark, by making this a 1/4 inch too long and not putting that indentation in there, it's not the same. Now here's another thing. This is an inner rocker. This piece is separate from this piece. So when you buy a rocker, you can see the line right here. See that line?
Yeah, that's the end of the
Okay,
rocker.
and then of course it goes all the way under the car. So to measure this, what you do is you come over here and you measure, you find your measuring points on the factory one. You write everything down, and then you take this one and you measure it up exactly the way you did it. But you're not even thinking about this area. That's like, you know, we're not thinking about that because that doesn't have nothing to do with it.
But it does.
But it does. Okay? So we're measuring it from right here and then sticking it over here, you know, measuring it from here to here. And then you're spending hours and hours and days and days and days. Why doesn't this fucking fender fit? When we get the other car in here, what do we find out?
Well, after measuring on that car, all the stuff
We
here,
find out that it's this section right here that is causing all the problems on the car.
Because the aftermarket part had to
That's
be made
right. It has to have a flaw that's different in it for them to sell it and not get sued by Ford Manufacturing Company.
There you go, people. So when you're using aftermarket parts, beware, there's something different.
So like I was telling you earlier, this car that Minnie's standing behind has been totaled out and wrecked beyond repairs, and somebody jerry-rigged the car up and made the car where it was half-assed decent so this guy that owns the car could buy the car and get screwed. So what I got to do is I got to get this suspension back in this car so I can get this welded back on, get it all lined up, figure out what we're missing over there. Now, another thing, come on over here. If we look at the front end of this car, we can see that this is spot welded on this plate. See that? Mm-hmm. Now, if we look at the other car over there, you can see where this owner had this plate completely welded up solid. Now, there's a lot of Mustang owners that got high performance motors and drivetrains in their vehicles that they will weld this plate up, all right, because it gives it a better stability and strength on the front end.
Right.
I will contact the owner and see if he wants me to do that. I'm sure he will. But I will use this car right here as a donor car to finish what we started 7-8 years ago.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
Car, if that falls off the jack, we're screwed. So what I'm doing right now is I am trying to, let's see if I can get that up there. There we go. Hang on. There it is. I have got to get this bolted on to this front end. If you can go lower that jack just a hair. The jack needs to be lowered.
I won't be able to do it with one hand.
Try it. There you go. Come on. Now push it in. Push it in. Okay. You're going to have to lower it down a little more. Come on, Minnie the body shop girl. Lower it down. Come on. All right, now push it in. Okay, hold on.
It's going to fall off the jack if I push it any further.
It's not going to fall. Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's going to come off that little black thing.
All right, come over here with the camera. All right, so I got to get this inside there so I can get all this on there. Once I get that on, then I can go ahead and put all this together. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know where the nuts and bolts are, so what we're going to do is we're going to use these temporarily to slide through here to hold all this together. And then once that's all done, the owner said that he purchased brand new suspension and it's on the way, high performance. I think he said it was 1.5 inch drop suspension. So we're going to get that, but we're not putting that in yet. He didn't really have to order that right now because we're not even going to use it. Because we still got to paint all this before we bolt it in.
Right.
We're a long ways from home. So, let me get this bolted in, and then we're going to see where we're at from there, and hopefully this car is going to get done the right way. And actually get done completely. Because that's what I want.
And out of our shop.
Yeah.
Gone.
And just to let everybody know, that brace right there, we're going to go up and look under the car here. It actually goes right here. This is where it goes, in this area right here. And then it would come across right here and then tie in to this one right here. So I have got to get up under here, and you can see kind of there's an indentation right in this area here. Where's my hand? Some of it. So this is where it would go. It comes around here, and then you can kind of see where it would be right in there. I'm upside down here. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete. We'll see you on part 29, 37, 53, whatever part we're on, rebuilding the Rustang and doing it right. What I'm really upset about is actually this car sitting around for as long as it has and then coming back to it. That's the main thing that I'm upset about, is because when you do work like that, it really disrupts you into the situation that you really just don't want to do it anymore. Now, we were looking at this structure earlier, and you can see where somebody added on right here. They added that on. This is before I started working on it. And then this one here is just rotted out anyway. This car's been here for so long, I don't even really know how long it's been here, if that makes sense to you. I've actually been holding on to this piece for many years. Believe it or not, look at this. Here's an old repair that somebody did using pop rivets on that. Yeah, so, you know, I don't know. I think that this car was chopped, diced, sliced, and repaired for resale purposes. That's what I'm thinking. Now, we do got some spot welds in here, and we're going to have to try to get that out. So we're going to have to cut this section of it out to get to that. And wow, just a real mess, people. Real mess here, guys. Real mess. I'm not really happy to be back on this thing, okay? I'm really not. I think that this should have been done years and years ago. And yeah, this is a real fiasco, guys. Just taking this off is a pain in the ass. You would think by getting back on this that I would be happy. I'd be happy that I am getting back on it, but I'm not. Not really happy at all today. Today, kind of a, there we go, right there, okay. I gotta get all this off. And here's a spot weld over here I missed. And a lot of times when you're doing this, plasma cutters come in real handy, as you can see. You just got to work around the situation to get it done. And I'm actually trying to pry all this by hand instead of using my air chisel. I only got one air hose hooked up right now, so there's another one right there. Okay, this one here we didn't cut out good enough. There we go. There's one right there. Let's get this one off. There we go. All right. That one. Damn it, son of a bitch. Right, there we go. There it is. see what I got here, guys? You see that? Do you see what we got going here? We got an air chisel. All right, let me do that. We're gonna come over here. We're gonna disconnect this like that. Okay, we got this bullshit table that rolls around every time you move it. I don't like it. Okay, it's bullshit, but we're gonna get her done. So what we got here? We got an air chisel. We got these, gotta have these. All right, we got these right here as well. So we're gonna take our air chisel just like this, and we are going to get that off. These tabs on this are folded in. That means that all this was put together, see there, before the floor was actually set into the car. So what we gotta do is we're gonna manipulate our way, and we're gonna literally, because the floor's already in the car, am I right? Do you see what I'm saying there? Do you see what we're gonna do so we don't get that in the yin yang is we're gonna go ahead and once we get this off, we're gonna fold them brackets out so we can, those tabs, so we can reuse them. Okay, we got all our spot welds cut. Let's see if we can get this bracket off of here, this tunnel bracket, and we'll go from there. Hopefully we'll get her off. Okay, like that. There's that one. All right. This one here should be coming off of here. Something's going on. What a fucking mess. You say, damn it! Okay, there's that. Get this side off. Come on, baby, you can do it. Come on. Come on, there it is. There it is, right there. That's it. That's what we need. That's the brace that we've been working on for the last 30 fucking minutes. Now we gotta find out where this goes, and we're not gonna mess with that yet. Okay, I'm thinking that goes on the passenger side. I'm pretty sure it does. Hopefully, we'll get this shit all together and get her done. What a fucking mess. A real mess here, guys. A real fucking mess that we have to come back and work on this piece of shit 7 years later. This is bullshit. This should have been done 7 years ago instead of keeping this car and redoing all this bullshit that we're doing. Did I say redo? We're not redoing shit. We're actually taking over from where we left off on this fucking thing. Yesterday we worked on this and we ran into a situation. If you look right there, that hole, that's where the radiator brackets go. We can't do nothing on this front end until we get the radiator brackets. I had to order those. I had to get 2 of them because we gotta have those before we weld all this shit in here, because we gotta know exactly where this goes from this frame rail here. It's bullshit, people. This should have been done years ago. I'm not fucking happy. I'm not happy at all. It's bullshit. And I'm gonna say it one more time because they're gonna bleed me out on it. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And one more time, bullshit.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.